Thank you, Brian Essi, 15306 Edgewater Drive. I want to thank all of you for the hard work and the long docket that we just went through. That is hard work, and I appreciate that as a citizen. At the same time, I was one that laughed, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I found Mr. Bullock's comments insulting. Insulting to my intelligence and insulting to anything that resembles facts. He speaks in terms of, always, this is a constant theme, talking about different interpretation of facts. Well, there's not an interpretation of facts. The Metro proposal, the one that I uncovered by pushing this body or this city to get to release it for September 14, said 900 jobs were promised. Not half of what we had, unless we had 1,800. So that's a fact that is not a fact. It's not a way of interpreting them. An enforceable contract right, Mr. Bullock referred to. The contract does not say, as long as the clinic, as Mr. Phillips pointed out, as long as the clinic owns the FHC, that it will have an ER or an ED. Those are defined terms in the federal law. It says we will have emergency services, which are not defined in the contract. So it is not enforceable other than to get emergency services. So let's just say, for example, we have the mobile stroke unit rendering emergency services in Lakewood. The Cleveland Clinic could reduce the emergency room to what folks call an urgent care. It is an ER now under the federal law. Now, Mr. Siley mentioned on some other less valuable properties we're hiring a broker. We never hired a broker. No one hired a broker to sell Lakewood Hospital or lease Lakewood Hospital. I have before me on my computer something that was the second RFP that's been referred to. It came out of a litigation. It includes the words, in addition, proposal should include an explanation to describe the primary rationale for any change or reduction in the current scope of services given respondents, and that's apostrophe S singular, announced intention to add inpatient services of roughly equivalent size in terms of beds at other nearby facilities. This RFP was addressed only to Cleveland Clinic. No one has ever been offered an FHC ER concept and a liquidation bid for this property. And that's the problem that I have most of all. We had $120 million valuation. So I'm giving those documents before with $70 million by Subsidian of comparable sales, like a broker would get, even though they weren't a broker, and $50 million of liquid assets. We never tested the market. We had one track going down one way for the RFP of 20 years for a hospital, inpatient for one group of people, and another track for the clinic. That's bid rating. That's bid steering. Now,
That's not true. You know, I got to take you on that. So I don't know how we want, not tonight, but some other night.
I'd love to have a discussion with you one-on-one, publicly or privately, because I've looked at the documents. I've got 32 years of experience in doing this, and I don't take this lightly. So I don't know how much time I have left. 94% of services, this is another thing that's not a fact. This is a misinformation thing. This is nonsense. It's silly. Then the $24 million I've already written on this. It's really 16 and a half, because you bring it back. The last dollars are in 2026. Present discounted cash flow. $18 million? No, it's $4 million, and the clinic has dibs on all that. Then who's going to run this money? Mr. Bullock, I understand you're no longer a part of LHA, and I doubt that Mr. Litton is, and neither is Mary Louise Madigan. How are we going to control LHA in the contract to decide with our city what the rules are for this money and how it's going to be used? This is more of the same, of rights that we didn't enforce under the old agreement. Now, the $66 million I mentioned earlier, this is almost silly. We have a $120 million property. We're using $66 million if the wind down expenses are $78 million, as Mr. Summers claims. It's crazy. It's crazy town. This doesn't make any sense in any business I've ever handled, and this is a burial of sins. It's a burial of sins of the people that mismanaged LHA. And I want to make something clear. I don't think the bankruptcy was a fraud when Mr. Anderson said it and Mr. O'Leary. I think they've repeated what they've heard. But no one could force LHA into bankruptcy. It's a nonprofit entity.
Thanks, Mr. Essi.
If only LHA could take it into bankruptcy, and that means LHA threatened that.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you.